I'm Daniel, the past life regressionist, and it's time to begin.
Lift off and the clock has started.
This is Timeless Spirituality. Enjoy each and every time.
Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Timeless Spirituality. Just want to remind everyone that I have a workshop coming up on October 8th that'll be co-hosted with my friend Gabriella Alziari, and it will be about spirit guides, connecting with your spirit guides, and connecting with your intuition. And there will also be a group regression there. So just go ahead and check out the show notes for the rest of the details and a link to tickets. And yeah, we'd love to see you there on October 8th at 12 p.m. Pacific time and 3 p.m. Eastern time. There we go with that. Okay, on to the next order of business. I'm going to be doing some upcoming episodes that are going to be venturing into some different territory. So I'm looking for guests for those episodes. So first thing I'm looking for is someone who would be willing to come on and share their story regarding a death that had a profound effect on their life in a way that helped them find more purpose. So if you would like to come on and share your story, just go ahead and reach out to me, and I would love to have you on. And the next thing I'm looking for a guest for, I think that's grammatically correct, it's venturing into some, even, shall we say, darker territory. It has to do with suicide. And if anyone has thought about suicide or taken that step and found your way back, and through the act of making it through the light, sorry, this one's just a little hard for me to really articulate, so doing my best with it. But if you were able to come out on the other side with a renewed sense of purpose, I would love to have you on to come on and share your story. So same thing, just reach out to me if you would like to do that, and I would love to have you on. Okay, took my deep breath there. Okay, I think I did all right with that. Now on to this episode today. This was recorded back in December of 2022. And this was one that I thought a lot about after recording. So there was something that was brought up regarding animals and spirit guides in this one, and I made a joke about it at the time. And I thought to myself after the fact, why did I make that joke? And upon, pondering that one over even more, I realized that there was something about it that made me uncomfortable. And for the life of me, I didn't know what it was until I thought about it more and more. And I saw that my view on, shall we say, animals in past lives or animals beyond anything outside of just being animals was really shaped by something I read in a book years ago by someone who was well known in the field. And I saw that I was basing I don't know if cosmology would be the right term for it, but we'll just say cosmology. My cosmology was based off of what I read. And even being a past life regressionist, there have been times when I've had clients who have seen themselves as animals. And in my mind, I think I wrote it off as a metaphor without being open to the possibility that they were indeed experiencing a past life as an animal. So for someone as stubborn as me, there's been an unraveling taking place over almost the last year of opening my mind to something more and in being okay with unraveling that belief system that I built. So you're going to see that in action here today. And I will expand upon that further in future episodes. So, yeah, happy to have you guys here today. And with all of that said, if you would like to book a regression with me to discover who, when, and where you have been throughout time, you can reach me on Instagram at The Past Life Regressionist or my website, thepastliferegressionist.com. And now, it's time to begin. Lily, welcome back to the show. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm excited to finish what we set out to start a few months ago, talking about your past life experience.
Oh, I'm so
welcome
ready
back.
to. Of course. Thank you for having me back.
Oh, I'm happy to have you back because even after your episode, I got some really good feedback, or I received some. That's better grammatically. I received some really good feedback about Lily. So I mean, come on, it was just a given, right?
It was a given to receive feedback for both of us. I mean, I really hope that everything went well for you these last couple months.
Yeah, it's been a magical journey as I continue to recapture the magic.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
So I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm just going to answer it for you.
Okay.
Here we go. Lily. Sorry, I'm such a dork. Lily, what is your favorite song about time and why?
Well, Daniel, I'm going to tell you. My favorite song about time is Dust in the Wind by Kansas. And I'm going to hand it over to my other half to tell me why. Because Daniel, doing his voice, forgot why.
Did I get that right?
Yeah, absolutely nailed it.
Cool. So, why was Dust in the Wind your favorite song about time?
Because it just teaches you about how life is so precious that no matter what happens, you're just going to be dust in the wind. And you got to really capture those special moments, that everything is infinite. Nothing is infinite besides the earth and sky.
And it slips our way.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to get the song out of my head now. Cool. Well, thank you for reminding everyone. And I'm just going to state right off the bat, I'm not going to ask you the question about why you want to do a past life regression, because I'm going to recommend that anyone who hasn't listened to your first episode yet goes and checks it out before embarking on this episode. And that episode was number 50, titled Recapturing the Magic. So we're going to jump right in right now because I'm sure we're going to have lots of good stuff to talk about. Are you ready?
Heck yeah, let's do it.
So what came up for you in your past life regression?
My first one, I think, was really just starting me out on how it feels, how it felt to like dive into what was happening. It was really hard for me to understand what was happening and what it was showing me. I felt it was just me getting oriented, getting used to the feeling. And you're right. At first, it did feel like I was kind of making it up at first, but obviously, like, you can't make this shit up. I was moving from my childhood home really far away, and I was doing that alone. So in this life, I realized like I don't like being alone because I like enjoying my life with other people. But in this first life that they showed me, I was doing everything alone, and that's okay.
Did anything else come up for that life?
And how I really needed to trust my intuition about things, because, I remember being super worried, but also really sad that I was leaving, but also really excited, and that I knew I just had to do it and just go with my intuition.
Cool. Well, thank you for sharing.
Of course.
What else came up for you?
I'm not sure if this is I think it was definitely the same life. It was after I did move. We were in the car. It was me and this man, and I was really enjoying the wind in my hair. It was a top-down car. I was really enjoying that, and it was really weird for me to experience, because I hate wind. No matter what, I hate wind, and I always say it. Everyone knows it. And I really, really liked it. And there was a scarf blowing, and I was really enjoying that. The first couple lives were just showing me how much my soul craves adventure. And I feel like we were going up a coast and just along a wavy road, and just loving every minute of this freedom that I had and this sense of adventure, because me and this male friend were going to a party and I was really excited for it. And I just remember reflecting back on me leaving. It was definitely one of the best decisions I made in that lifetime.
So this was part of the same life where you left your
Yes.
childhood home. What else came up for that one?
I think one of the lessons was that I also need to take my time with things, that like life moves so fast that I feel like I got to catch up, but I just needed to slow down and enjoy living in the moment.
What was the time period for that one?
I'm thinking it was a really nice car. The top was down, but I feel like it was maybe 60s. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not sure because I had like a long skirt with like kind of flats on, and my hair was kind of I don't know. I think for some reason I'm feeling 60s.
Did you have a beehive on your head?
No. Just like a blue headband and
Oh, okay. Okay. That was a good look. They should bring that back.
they should. Well, they're bringing a lot of other things back. I have seen people walk around with mullets in my town, and I'm just like, well, there's something.
Well, there's some things they don't need to bring back.
Yeah.
I mean, the mullet was an interesting look.
Very interesting. Yes, just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, I never had a mullet. I never had a rat tail. I never had any of that stuff. Yeah,
You regret it, don't you?
very much. Because that's the only time you could ever get away. Well, I guess not. I guess you can't get away with a mullet now. I don't know if you could ever really get away with the rat tail. Some people did.
Some people did, and it was interesting. You could always tell those kind of people from others.
Yeah. Well, Mel Gibson did pretty well with the mullet in the Lethal Weapon movies. At least in the first three.
Never seen them, so I can't comment.
You've never seen a Lethal Weapon movie?
No, I'm not really one for action movies. Although I love superhero movies.
This is a superhero movie without the powers. With Martin Riggs, a Vietnam vet who's really good with a shot.
Okay, all right. I have to admit, it does sound a little tempting.
Yeah, it's good. And then there's this guy Jacob in the first movie, and he takes a cigarette and he burns it on his arm just to intimidate. Was that it? Or no, he held his hand over a flame. Like, yeah, it was. Yeah, and I'm doing a really good job selling the movie. You should check
How
it out.
badass.
It's good. And then they had the sax.
Now I can get down with that.
And a little funky guitar. Anyways, where were we? So what else came up for you in that life?
I think that was pretty much it. Every life that I think they've shown me like 7 lives, but every one was like the first one was like the short one, and then it just kept getting longer as we went. I think it was just me getting used to everything, and then as we got along, I was able to stay in lives longer because I was getting comfortable with it.
So what was the next one that came up for you? By the way, I'm such a boy talking about the Lethal Weapon movies and
Hey, we could talk about superhero movies. I'd be so down with that.
We'll save some time for that at the end. That'll be a cool conversation to have. Don't let me forget. So what came up for you in the second life?
The second life, I was an old man just sitting on the beach, and I was taking a vacation, and I remember being so tired because I think it was the very first vacation, one of the first that I've ever taken, but I was an old man. So I remember just being so tired of work and just really glad that I had time to sit and watch a sunset because I was very warm and the sand was so comforting on the beach, and it was a really nice peaceful time to finally get to have. That one was really short as well. That's pretty much it for that one.
How about the next one?
This one was really interesting. I was a man I was walking for a while in the desert, and I remember having those kind of like sandals on as I was walking. You were asking me where I was walking to, and I didn't know. I had to rely on my intuition. I remember it being dark, and I was looking at the stars, and I didn't know where I was walking, but I knew I was headed in the right direction, but I was walking for a very long time. And then you said to, kind of condense time and get to the place where I needed to be. And I found this kind of area, this colony, and it was kind of like, I don't want to say a gold city or like the pyramids, but it was kind of like in that ancient time. And I was brought up to this man that was there to teach me. I was going there to learn. I didn't know what he was teaching me at first, and then you told me to ask him, and he said he's teaching me about the stars. And he brought me to this room, and it was like almost like a dome, because when I looked up, the stars were so close. So it was kind of like a dome, but with the top as a magnifying glass, I feel like. So you could like navigate the stars easier. Like looking back on it, that's what makes sense more. But he was just telling me telepathically, because you were asking me what he was saying. I'm just like, he's not talking. He's just kind of telling me things through telepathy, which was very cool, but very odd for me in that life anyway. But the stars, he was telling me about how the stars just are the universe's way of communicating, and how the stars mean so much more than we know, which we know, but a lot of people, astrology, oh, F that, that's so stupid. But it really is just a map of your universe.
Anything else come up for that life?
Yeah, in that life, I remember spinning. Not me in that life, but while I was in the regression, I was spinning. And you said, can we stop the spinning? And that happens a lot to me when I meditate, because I think, and it was also because of all this information getting downloaded into me, and I feel like I was just not overwhelmed, but getting all this, and I was spinning a lot, and it was very odd. But everything went away once you said, to, if you're uncomfortable, let's stop the spinning, and it did. It did. But that was just very interesting, just to constantly be spinning like that. It wasn't a bad feeling. It was just like, whoa.
Yeah, it's cool having that dome, seeing the stars that way. So I was listening to everything you were saying, but then I was just thinking how cool that would be to be in a room like that, where it was natural, and you didn't have to look through a telescope, but it was just right. Okay, where were we? Sorry. Cool. So what came up for you next?
The man was also trying to tell me to like always remember that there's something more, there's something bigger in the grand scheme of things, to stop worrying about the mundane things, money, social media, technology, and just remember that there's something more, that you're here for a reason, you're learning things for a reason, for your soul to grow. And to have these things that you want just isn't it, to grow spiritually.
Yeah, sound advice.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say to this stuff. I'm just here for it now at this point. So I'm just a big goober. I'm having dinner with my mom tonight, and she's making steak, so I'm admittedly thinking about that. Just a nice juicy steak.
Oh, I hope
A
she
good piece
seasons
of
it
meat.
real good.
She does well. She does well.
Nice.
She uses Santa Maria seasoning. It's good. It's really good. She uses just the right amount too.
Nice. Well, I hope it's perfect.
It will be, yeah. And I need to stop thinking about that and just be present here right now, and not thinking about food. What was the next life that came up for you?
The next life, I think it was, it's hard to tell, but I was a little girl, and I don't know if it was like an in-between life, because it just seemed so perfect. I was a little girl, and I was playing outside of my house, and I was describing this dress that had yellow flowers on it, and it made me feel really pretty. And I was trying to climb this tree, but it was too tall. And you told me to ask the tree if it could lower one of its branches for me, so I could just climb on up there. And it did. It worked. The tree. I was talking to the tree. The tree talked to me, and I remember birds flying all around me and just being so at peace because the sun was shining. It was just a beautiful, beautiful day. And I think it was their way of reminding me like I need to reconnect with nature and remember that I have such a connection with nature that I need that to kind of recharge and realize that the earth loves me and that everything is connected and we are one. And that was also another powerful lesson that I needed to remember, that I'm not alone.
So you brought up the term an in-between life. What do you mean by that?
I mean, like, so before we go from life to life, we have that in between state where before we sign, whatever contract we sign. And I feel like maybe I was there because in that life, it just wasn't ending. There was no me growing up. There was just there, and there was no one else there except for me outside of my house in this beautiful tree, and there was just nothing else around. So I think that was more of my higher self just giving me that comfort that I needed to feel, because I've had a lot of anxiety this last 2 years. So and you also let me have, like, I think it was like 2 minutes to myself for that, because you said you needed to, like, I don't know, you said you were going to be right back, and then I think you gave me like 2 minutes to just be there and be in comfort and be in that peacefulness. And I think that's what I really needed for that therapy kind of thing.
I've learned that I can't have frozen yogurt before a session because sometimes, I need the 30 seconds to run to the restroom. There's something about it that makes me need to pee.
Man, I thought you were letting me have that because you knew I needed it.
Well, I think it was that too, but also me holding on and waiting for an opportune moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I remember your session happened while I was staying in a hotel. Because I
Yes.
was out of my place for a month, and running to the other room really quick, and then I think I got back for it and still let you sit with it because I only needed 30 seconds. So did like 11 seconds to do what I needed to do and figure 3 or 4 seconds each way, and then maybe it was a few more because I follow the rules and wash my hands for 20 seconds.
So you got to sing happy birthday twice.
It's twice?
Twice.
Oh, yeah, it is twice. Do you know my head now? Yeah.
It's twice.
But even if that didn't happen, I think it probably still would have been one of those things where I said, hey, let's sit with this for a minute. Because, I remember when the tree lowering the branch and then just, it's like, yeah, she needs this moment. But I still want to focus on the in-between life part. Why is that what you think that it was?
I really don't know. I just have this feeling. And with me, it's my big psychic ability kind of is to just feel things. I just know things. Like that's just, I'm not sure why. It's just the feeling that I got. It's just, this was just an in-between kind of thing because I felt careless. But then again, I was also a little girl, and like when you're a kid, you could care less about anything and just live in the moment with everything. So I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like that was an in-between kind of thing.
So even with a session like yours, when it comes to time, I can only comprehend in a linear sense. As much as I don't believe the time is linear, at this point, I'm just not capable of thinking about it any other way. And I remember even thinking during your session, in a linear time sense, it feels like there's an overlap going on here in more than one life. It felt like the life with the old man, the vacation, felt like the car. Well, we didn't see when these people passed away, but it just felt like with the natural progression of time that there may have been an overlap. Now, I also don't believe that there's only one reality necessarily, or that we don't just incarnate into one. I don't want to use the word timeline because I feel like that's so overused, but into one universe. Let's just say that. But I also believe in the possibility that we can be in more than one body at one time as well. But what I also believe is that some of those may have even just been metaphors. I believe that they were past lives, but I never want to rule out the possibility of it just being a metaphor, because just like you said about the higher self giving you something, I think that sometimes the higher self speaks through metaphors. So even for the life with the girl, I feel it may have been a possibility of it being a metaphor. I mean, sure, it could have been an in-between also. Like, I don't know. I guess I asked you because, admittedly, it's been a while since I've really indulged in past life reading. I mean, when I say that, past life literature. So
Right.
I'm more separated from reading all the books than you are at this point. So it's like you're still like my gateway into what's been said there. So, I mean, what's your take with just what I brought up?
No, you know what? I completely agree because we have a certain theme going on here with the first life with the car and the second life with the old man, that it was kind of the same lesson that needed to be learned, or like the same kind of peace that I've been needing to have with my anxiety and the constant worry. And it was just peace and comfort that I was feeling there, but also that I enjoy freedom and I enjoy adventure. And I'm not going to shoot down that that was a metaphor. It could have been a past life. It very may well have could have been a metaphor, absolutely. But I also believe that
It could have been an in-between state.
it all, yeah, could have been an in-between state. Whatever your subconscious or higher self needs you to see, like you said many times, like your subconscious will not show you anything you're not ready for.
Mm-hmm.
That day, I think they showed me exactly what I was looking for, because also I wanted to tell you, I was super, super nervous. I had to work that day. Our session started at 3 and I got off at 2. I was working that day and I was very nervous. My only one coworker knew what was happening that day. And I was putting away the grocery order and just constantly thinking about it. And I had this young gentleman come up to me. Okay. This random person. I have no idea who it was. He came up to me. He's just like, can I pray for you? Can I pray with you? And I said, oh, sure. So he grabbed my hands and he just started praying with me and talking to God and telling God to protect me and help me through my endeavors and everything. And that just blew me away. It blew my mind, and it really made me have comfort. Took some of my anxiety away, because obviously I was still very nervous about it. I was very excited, but I was very nervous too. So I think that really, really helped a lot, though, because it was just mind blowing.
Jeez, that says something about you, because I feel if that happened to me, and if someone walked up to me before I was on or about to do my first past life regression, they said, "I want to pray for you right now," so, I'd be like, "What am I getting myself into right now? What are they picking up on? What's going to happen to me when I do this? What? I can't do this. I can't do it." So hats off, kudos.
It's just your way of looking at it, your perception of things.
Yeah, that's why I need the Lily perspective. You do have a much cleaner perspective than I do. And just one more thing I want to comment with regards to the metaphor or past life or in between space. At the end of the day, I don't think it really matters. All that I find value in that situation is, what are you taking away from it? It's hard for me to say that as a past life regressionist. Like, oh, I'm leading people on a journey where they may be receiving a metaphor. But if it helps, it helps. So that's just
Absolutely.
my 2 cents on it. I guess my line of inquiry just came from, I guess a curiosity of, am I missing something by not considering the potential for it to be an in-between space? So, because you're really helping reinvigorate that space for me.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it could be a possibility. I mean, I don't know, but I took what I got out of it, and it really helped me. So,
you want to hear a quick funny story about the first time I remember encountering that?
okay.
So I did a session with a woman who was probably, God, this was probably within the first year of when I was practicing. So yeah, this would have been, how old was she been at the time? I think she was in her late 20s at the time. And she saw herself as a dude who had a pilot's license and crashed onto a small desert island. And I don't remember exactly what happened there, but the guy was rescued. Oh, sorry, I got to back up. Before he got on the plane, the times or the time for that happening was, it was in the 80s, because I used to spend a lot more time during a session looking for clues as to when something was. And then as time went on as a practitioner, I said to myself, look, I've oriented someone in at this point. How is this going to be helpful for them if I'm looking for these little details of, this and that? It's like, no, at a certain point, you just move forward and get them the meat of what they need. So yeah, I spent a lot more time back then looking for that stuff. And it was pinpointing it to it was the early or mid 80s at that point or something. And this woman was born in the late 80s in this incarnation. So when the guy got in the plane and I heard her talking about the plane crashing into a deserted island, I'm like, oh, this guy's toast. Like he's dead. He's gonna die shortly and then be reborn as this woman. And then he got rescued. And then as time went on, he got older and older. And I'm sitting there thinking, what the fuck? we're in the 90s at this point. We're even jumping in the early 2000s. What the fuck is going on here? And then the guy got married. And just all these things were happening. Like, what the fuck is going on? And I remember when the subconscious came forward, or the higher self, and asking, what was going on there? And the higher self said, because I think I may have even asked, was that her life? Because I don't think I jumped right to parallel realities.
Right.
I mean, maybe I brought it up, but the higher self said, no, it wasn't her life. But she was going through something at the time, going through a breakup. And I think there were metaphors there also about crashing on a desert island and then being rescued and getting married down the line. But I remember saying to the higher self, you couldn't have found out of the billions of people on the planet, that's the life that you picked for her? And I wish I could remember what the higher self said, but I just remember sitting there scratching my head after the guy got rescued thinking, what the hell is going on here? What is going on? But it was helpful for her, so that's all that mattered at the end of the day.
Absolutely. I think that's what really matters most. But yeah, I bet you learn to not jump to conclusions like that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's dead.
Well, I wish I could say that I've learned my lesson there, but I usually do pretty well in that department of the prediction of what's to come, but I still get it. I still get them wrong. But I'm not scratching my head anymore with the timing of things. I think that's where the big scratcher was, because now it's just a matter of, oh, I'm trusting my gut on this one. I see where this is going. And then, yeah, in those times, whoop, that was a plot twist. Didn't see that one coming.
Keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, it's cool. It's fun to have that. Yeah, so what was the next life that came up for you?
The next life is my last one. This one's really, really interesting. I actually tell, a lot of people this one. I was a man, and then all of a sudden there was a volcano eruption. And when I was telling my one friend this, he's like, oh, the eruption of Pompeii? And I'm just like, I don't know. Just there was a volcano eruption. That's all I'm getting from this. But I think they showed me this one because I was, frantically running around trying to help the women and children out, of all the ash falling and the ground constantly shaking and running away. And I remember seeing all the animals that were just in total traumatic fear, and really taking a toll on everyone. And when it was all said and done, almost, I remember, looking for my family, my children, and my significant other, and they were nowhere to be found. And I was just left with devastation of knowing that I was helping everyone else, but I couldn't help my family out of there, So that was a lesson to be learned. And later, that's when we found out, like, that's why I had such bad anxiety, with every time I left my house, I was afraid I'd come home to my house just being burned down to the ground. And since our session, I've thought about that, but I haven't had true anxiety of it every time I left the house like that. I never had that reason to not leave the house anymore.
So you guys can't see it, but I'm dancing right now. I'm dancing like a white boy. Let's you on the funky chicken now, and yes, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Past life regression for the win.
Heck yeah.
How's that feel?
It feels incredible, especially the first month afterwards. I'm just like, well, this is new. This is nice. I can actually enjoy myself, enjoy my life without having to worry about that and just having that in the back of my head all the time. And I could be enjoying myself with friends, and all of a sudden, oh, there it is. Like everything's gone. But it's definitely so different now.
Yes. Cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing all that. How about the higher self portion? What came up for you?
That was such an interesting experience. When I listened to the session, it doesn't even sound like me talking. So that was very cool, very weird. My higher self informed me that the male that I was driving in the car with in my first life, that was my current husband. And at the time, like, we kind of liked each other, but it never really worked out because I just wanted to go with my life. I wanted to just have that adventure, sense of adventure, and just keep going, have nothing hold me back. So that was cool. And then the man that was teaching me about the stars, my higher self informed me that that was my father in this life. I always thought of my dad as like a very wise person, and I learned a lot from him, and was a very, very good role model for me. And so I knew that was coming. But I had a childhood dog. His name is Rocco, and he passed away when I was 16 at 10 years old. So he was my best friend. And when my husband and I got this one dog, Elo, he reminded me so much of him. So I asked you to ask that question, like, what's my connection to Elo? And he was Rocco from earlier life. And my higher self was like, he didn't want to leave, but he had to. But we gave him back to you when you were happy and in such a better place mentally and spiritually, and more mature. And it was so nice. And now, like, I feel like I could talk to him every day, like actually talk. Like, he understands me. He's so smart. I don't know, I have a connection with that dog.
Oh, that's so heartwarming.
I know.
So I guess that's maybe a lesson for everyone, that maybe you don't need to go clone your dog after they pass away.
Yeah, I've heard some people doing that.
That's really sad. I get it. But what I've also heard, what was it? Did I watch an article, or not an article? Did I watch a story on that, or read an article where I think the consensus was that it looked like their dog, but didn't act like their dog. So then I mean, that just brings the whole question of, do dogs have souls? Which I believe that they do. So maybe the physical vessel stays the same, but there's a new soul that comes to inhabit it. And then you got to wonder about astrology. And does astrology affect animals the way that it affects humans? So if so, maybe it is the same soul. However, they're born with a different doggy chart, so they're going to act differently in that respect. Or maybe your pets will come back to you in this life or future incarnation. So.
Yeah, I mean, I also heard of a theory that they're also just your spirit guides coming in to help you and guide you.
That's horse shit. Don't bring that shit up here, Lily. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm totally kidding. Sorry. Sorry, what are you saying?
No, you know what? That's it. I'm done. I'm done with that. Done with that conversation.
I'm sorry. But actually, that wasn't horse shit. I meant to grammatically say that was bullshit. I'm kidding though. I'm so sorry for jumping in. No, please. I was trying to be funny and it didn't work. So, I crashed and burned on that one.
Okay, we can still be friends.
So what were you saying about that though? About what you heard about spirit guides coming in as animals?
Yeah, that they are also part of your soul family, because your spirit guides are your soul family, and they come to you through different people, different I believe different animals, even birds. I was really close to this one bird we had, and she passed away. But yeah, always felt very close to animals, that they're definitely a sign or they help you throughout your life.
I like that. I'm open to it. I think it's cool. I'm not as closed off as I may appear to be sometimes. Because the truth is, I don't know.
You're just focused on that steak, I think.
Well, I wasn't. Then truth be told, I've been thinking about the conversation we're about to have about superhero movies. That's kind of what I've been thinking about is, okay, how's this going to work? We're going to make it somewhat quick, but substantive enough. Yeah. All right, so let's segue really quick. What's your favorite superhero movie of all time?
That's what I was going to ask you. See, I'm really into Marvel, and it's so hard to pick. And I also love how they add humor into every single movie. I think Thor is freaking hilarious, but so is Iron Man with his sarcastic personality. But I'm gonna have to go with Thor. But I love Guardian of the Galaxy movies.
Which Thor movie?
The first one. He's so funny in the first one because he's still he hasn't grown into his full self yet. So it's just he's kind of not dopey, but he just doesn't understand Earth and how it works. And when he gets, put back there, it's pretty interesting.
So I swear to you, what I'm about to tell you is 100% true. Because I was just having a conversation with someone about the way that I want to bring past life regression out into the mainstream, and my approach to I don't want to say the entertainment value of it per se, but it just not being standard. So as I'll talk about in a moment with my favorite superhero movie, I'm going to leave you hanging for a second as to which, but I'm more of a DC guy. But what I was talking to this person about was, even though those movies had my favorite superheroes in them, the Marvel movies are superior to them because of the humor. It's that humor, even in the action scenes in those Marvel movies. There'd be a little break where they make a quick joke or quip and then move right back into the action. The music would cut out. They say something, we're back again. And that's what made it amazing, was the humor.
Yes.
Hey, you're so right about that. And as you guys have seen, that I've kind of crashed and burned a little bit with the humor in today's episode. But I was trying too hard today. Admittedly, I was trying way too hard. But yeah, because I think that's what this world needs a little more is, I mean, granted, also, this wasn't a super serious episode. There wasn't a lot of heavy topics we were talking about. Although, I think I do okay at straying away from humor in the heavy ones. Now I'm just thinking, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, because why am I not incorporating humor into those as well? But I've never seen the Thor movies. I tried watching the first one, and I was having trouble with the camera.
Really?
Just the way that it was filmed at the beginning, there was something about it that made it really difficult for me to watch. Even though in the Avenger movies, I think Thor is great.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get into it. Maybe I'll give it another try, because I think it's probably been about 10 years since I tried. I mean, I didn't go and see it in the theaters, but I remember watching it once it came out on video. Yeah, so maybe it's time, so thank you. All right. Are you ready for my favorite?
Yes.
Although it's not part of the DC film universe, my favorite superhero movie of all time is The Dark Knight. Not only is it my favorite superhero movie, it's also my favorite movie.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm sorry. I've never seen it.
What?
I don't like DC that much.
Oh, you got to watch The Dark Knight. Did you see the new Batman movie?
No.
Because you don't like DC?
I guess not just because of that. Batman just never did it for me, I guess. I don't know.
So what have you heard about the new Batman movie from people you know who've seen it?
Robert Pattinson. That's it.
So no reviews on it, nothing?
I mean, I heard it was good. I didn't hear anything bad about it. I mean, before it came out, I know a lot of people were worried because, Robert Pattinson had such a big role in Twilight that it was going to affect how he played Batman. But I know I heard that people really liked it.
So my feeling with the new one was what I went and saw it. Like when I go and see movies, I don't like to go opening week. Well, I don't go to movies on weekends because people suck. So,
Yeah.
and I usually go for a big movie, either the week, like for the second week that it's out, and I'll go on a Monday or Thursday for a matinee, usually the first one, because it's in big theater and there are only a couple people in there. So that's how it was for Batman. I mean, there were maybe two other people in this huge theater that I was in. Amazing. I love it. And I wasn't crazy about the new one. It was a little slow, but what I appreciated about it was that it was a Batman movie. I mean, you felt like you were watching a comic book on screen. I
Really?
loved that. That's what was really cool about it. The reason I loved The Dark Knight is because it wasn't a Batman movie.
Okay.
It was an amazing story that happened to have Batman in it. You could have taken
Okay.
Batman out of that film and just put in some other kind of police officer, and it would have been an amazing movie.
Okay. I'll have to watch it. I'm really curious now. I'll have to watch it.
I highly recommend starting with Batman Begins.
Okay. I was just about to ask if I should watch any other movie before that.
Watch Batman Begins. Because
Okay.
that's the beauty of that trilogy, is that it's so grounded. It's so grounded. And it's amazing. It's so good, especially The Dark Knight. It's fan-fucking-tastic. It's such a good movie. And Batman's my favorite out of all the superheroes. Batman followed by Superman. I haven't been crazy about Batman in the DC films. So if that says anything where I'm not just like Batman all the way, I'm being honest about the way I see those films. And Dark Knight, an amazing film. Just, yeah, it's so good. And then the way they finish the trilogy, there's just a beginning, middle, and an end. It's so perfectly crafted. So, yeah.
Okay. Hey, I'm all for a good movie. I'm really excited for this new Avatar movie coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of am too. I
Heck
remember
yeah.
liking the first one, and I've heard the second one is getting great reviews.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'll watch it when it comes. I'm not going to the theater for that one. A little long for my taste for that. And it's also
Yeah.
we're recording this in early December right now. So we're rolling into, the Christmas season. So, the kiddies are going to be out of school and everyone is going to be going to the movies. And even if you go to a matinee, it's still going to be full. And there's people,
Yeah.
and then they're, that's them eating their popcorn, like all obnoxious, and then pulling out their phones because they have to scroll on Instagram in the middle of a movie or send messages to their friends because they can't just wait because they need that dopamine hit. Just, yeah, don't get me started on people.
See, that doesn't happen around here. I like going to the movie theater. Everyone's super respectful around here. I don't know. I don't know if
Seriously?
that's just, I swear. We love going to the movie theaters.
They don't eat their popcorn loud?
Not really. I mean, like even in the ones that I don't know what kind you have, but the one big one, you can order while you're sitting and they bring food into you, but like it's still dark and like you could eat whatever, burgers, popcorn, and like people are nice and quiet. Although the movie is super loud, so almost blows your eardrums out. I'm serious. It's very loud, but also people are very respectful.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah. Not here. Not here in LA. They're not respectful at movie theaters. So
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I don't go
Ruins
to many
the
movies.
first experience.
Yeah. So, anyways, this is a fun way for us to wrap it up.
Yay.
So, thank you so much for coming on, and I'm excited to have you on again for the continued journeys of Lily. So, where can everyone find you?
I'm gonna stick with my TikTok. It's Lilylou, LILYLOU 444. I still haven't posted anything, but you know what? I am getting there, and it's going to happen very soon.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, and yay.
Yay. Thank you for having me.
Fellow time travelers, your journey through time awaits you. Just want to thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. And if you're interested in discovering who, when, and where you have been throughout time, and you'd like to book a session with me, just go ahead and send me a message on Instagram at The Past Life Regressionist, or you can reach me through my website, yourpastliferegressionist.com.
Hey, time traveler. Are you trying to learn your birth chart and you're struggling through all those confusing layers of signs, houses, planets, degrees, aspects? I have a 4-level self-paced course that makes this process so much clearer. Hi, I'm Danny. I'm that witch next door. I'm an instructor and mentor for folks like you that are trying to learn all of this trendy new astrological information for themselves in their own lives. Each level of my course is specifically designed to dive deep into the chart and help make sense of all those different parts and pieces. I developed this course to directly improve all the problems that I personally encountered on my journey to learning my own birth chart so that you don't have to. All of the information is presented in a way that is digestible and set up to promote the most effective retention and set you up for real success. By the end of our last level, you'll be ready to practice interpreting the transits and the aspects for yourself. You can visit thatwitchnextdoor.com/astrology for more information and to order yours today. You can also use code Time to Learn for a 10% discount off of your bundle today. This is my way of saying thank you so much for being part of the Timeless Spirituality community. I enjoy working with all of you so much that listen to me over on That Witch podcast. So don't forget, if you're struggling to learn your birth chart, you want to finally make sense of all of this, visit thatwitchnextdoor.com/astrology and use code Time to Learn for 10% off at checkout. Thank you so much, time traveler. Thank you, Daniel, the past life regressionist, and I'll see you all in class.